and welcome back to Druss for another stream. And today we're going to be continuing our work on interiors in the house in front of us. And Scout is also on the server at the moment, and I'm just going to go and check out some of the work that she's done. Oh, so very nice. That's a lovely stairs. So it is. So Scout is working on the slightly poorer area, the more rundown area that faces the waterfront of the town, and that's down here. And Scout has completed, you'll have seen in previous streams, Scout has completed the entire of this section, and is really accelerating ahead of myself in terms of the amount of builds that she's contributed to the actual server and the project itself. So yes, she's been working on this build here. Obviously it has a lovely stairs going up to a second floor, or a first floor even. Oh, look at that roof, that's gorgeous. Fantastic. Hello Scout, how are you doing? Just admiring the roof here, Scout. Tough one, alright. That's a difficulty. So it is. You could. Hold on. Let's just try this for a second. And put that here. And then what we need is a... What we need is a vertical slab, if I can find it. And we're going to put that here. Maybe. No, we have to put that on the other side. And we'll see. I don't know if this is going to work now. Possibly will, possibly won't. No, that's not going to work. Okay, that's not going to work. How about a stairs, an inverted stairs, which will cover this area here. That covers that there, and then F3 on the other side. Okay, yeah, that's not ideal either. Okay, that's difficult. All in all, that's that's a bit of a conundrum. We could just have... Yeah, no, actually I don't know what to do about that. That's Scout. That's a difficult one. So it is, because you need to... Hold on. Actually, I have an idea. Hold on. There we go. If we put that there, put that there. Put the stairs, F3N. F3N. Put the stairs back here. And then F3N. F3N. And then we can put a... First example, that there. And the stairs... The stairs there or something like that, maybe. That, but better. So you've got stairs on both sides, or you've got fire on both sides, excuse me. It does kind of. Ish. Sorry folks, I'm just having difficulty talking. Hello, I see I'm joined by somebody else, so Scout, I'm assuming, is probably one of the people that I've that's logged in while she plays. Not entirely sure. And I'm not sure who else there is, so feel free to let me know in the chat who it is. Welcome aboard in any case. And I'd also like to say at this point, there's been somebody who has been commenting a lot on my... thanks very much, Scout. And there's a chap who has been commenting quite a lot on my YouTube videos of these particular streams. And I'd just like to thank him in person. His name is Stephen Smedley, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure. He's a Canadian chap. And I just thank you very much, Stephen. I really do appreciate your input into all my videos and your watching of them. So again, thank you very, very much, and I hope you're enjoying the streams and the content. Okay, so as I said, now we'll just plow ahead with this building here. We have done so far, in case you haven't seen, we've done a sitting room, a dining room, just have a quick look, a kitchen of a sort. We've also in previous streams covered the cellar area, so we just have a bit of a small storage area here, a wine cellar and a servants quarters / second storage kitchen sort of thing. So then yesterday we began work on the first floor and completed a nursery and a living room. Now I have had a few thoughts about that, but I'm not going to change it. So the nursery is here, the cut design is Scouts, and that sort of, it'll do, you know. And we also completed this living room here. And the thought I had was that with Conquest Refgorged, we don't actually really need to have the fireplace come out by a full block. I could easily have just created a smaller fireplace with just some slabs, some vertical slabs like that. It would have only come out half as far, but I think given that I covered this in the stream, I'm just going to leave that as is. I may revisit it at some future point, but at the moment, given that I covered it in the stream, I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, so we also did this landing here with just a few little small decorations. So today, hopefully, I'm going to manage to complete a small bedroom and a bathroom here. It's quite a big house, it's a rich house. I think that the bathroom is justified. So we'll begin with that. You will forgive my yawning. It's Father's Day over here in Ireland, I think in the UK, and possibly in Europe as well. My 3 kids woke me up this morning with the cards they made themselves and also a coffee cake, which I'm a little bit of a divil for. Okay, Scout, thank you very much. And yeah, so I had coffee cake for breakfast and also about 4 cups of coffee. So there really is no excuse for me to be yawning, but unfortunately that's the way I am at the moment. So let me see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have an uneven, finally we have an uneven room, which is ideal for me. I shall put the beams going across this way. And one last one there. And that covers the ceiling, and realistically this is the center, so it really needs, the light needs to be coming from here. Though it may look off a little, we shall see. And light, what light do we want to use for a bathroom? It doesn't have to be hanging. It may well be that I'll add just a, I'm going to add a hanging oil lamp, because the oil lamp could simulate condensation. And of course, yes, it is uneven there, but it is 4 wide, so we are bunched in terms of that. Now, so to have a nice bath, there is a fantastic decorative block within Conquest Refgorged 1.15 and above, and that is the wooden washing tub, and it makes for a good bath. We can also fill it with water, to various levels, which is fantastic. And in a poorer household, this is exactly what I would use for a bath, and it's ideal for that purpose. Also for things like washing clothes or that sort of thing. But in this particular house, given that it's a richer household, I can't actually put them there, unfortunately. So Stephen, who was commenting on my YouTube videos, you did mention that I ought to replace some of this wooden floor with carpet, and in some case I have done that. I can't in this household because, as you can see, the floor is one thick, and if I was to replace it with carpet, I would have a carpet ceiling, which I think looks a little bit too unusual. However, in some houses I actually did do a double thick floor, which allowed me have ornate ceilings, for example, there, but yet have carpet on the floor on the interiors, and that was fantastic. But it only works, I think, in certain builds, because it adds a lot of height to a building, and you have to try and then compensate for that on the exteriors when you're building them. So I didn't want all buildings to be monstrously tall. That building there, the wedding house as it's called, is actually quite a bit taller than this one here, for example. So yeah, I didn't want that. In some cases I'm okay with that, but in the case of this house, unfortunately, we're just going to have to suffer the wooden floors. Again, good morning. I see that Scout has said hello. Good morning, Scout. How's it going? She's also capable of typing as she plays, which is an incredible skill. There are a few more people on board, so welcome aboard. We're just going to be doing the bathroom here. So the question is how to best manage the bath. And I think this corner here is, we have plenty of, as you see, because we have a double thick wall, that's the exterior of the house that you're looking at underneath here, and we have a double thick wall here for the thing. So there are advantages in doing that. And for the bath itself, I think we're going to use something like a marble column block of some nature. The column blocks can be very, very nice for this. I just have to remember how I did it before. Shall we try this? Maybe this is too wide. Possibly. Yeah, you see that's too wide there. It does work there, and it does work here. So if I have in fact I don't, bad mistake, Druss, bad mistake. I could have it there, and then if this works, I'm not entirely sure it will. However, we shall try it. Again, no, that doesn't work. The actual, okay, so the Ionian does not work. We'll try the architrave. The architrave, as I said in my last stream, is a lot more subtle, and hopefully that is it gives us a bit more room within the actual bath itself. It does sort of. If we had it out to here, it certainly would. So let's just give that a try. It also creates okay, that doesn't work. So let me see. We will have to try. Oh, welcome back, Scout. And the architrave is a bit the most subtle, so it's possible we may have to go with a different. If we went with something like Yada, now this may not work at all. It's it's not too bad. It's not ideal, but it's not too bad. And then at the base, what we're going to do is we're going to just use a simple marble base. That'll just cover the... Okay, we're not going to use that one, obviously. Let's go back to our traverine slab. Marble block. This should be okay. And we're looking for a slab for the base of the actual bath itself. Now, the only thing I'm not particularly fond of is the fact that it comes out underneath the window here. We may have to do something about that. And we can manage it. We may come back to it. Also, the fact that there is a slight... It does come out slightly, like from the wall to the bath here, looks a little bit odd, in my own opinion. It would be better. No, you see, we can't manage that. It's one or the other. It's one of those points where we just have to sacrifice some of the aesthetically pleasing things just for the sake of functionality. For example, if I was to put a lintel block there, it still wouldn't work because let's try a thin lintel block if we can find one, a beach one perhaps. And if we put the lintel block there and there, it does bring it out, and we can even change that there, but we then can't put one in this side, so it doesn't work fully. So it doesn't, unfortunately. We may, however, be able to use a lintel block to prevent... Let me see, which is the whitest lintel block? The beach is quite white, but I'd like the Malaran one as well. The Malaran is fast becoming one of my favourite actual... Is there a thinner one? Door frame lintel. We'll try that just there. Now, I'm not sure. If anyone can let me know what you think, I would appreciate it greatly. I'm not entirely sure if that works. And Scout has just left. She must. I did know she was going to have to jet off, so I'll see you later, Scout. Now, bath here. It's not ideal. We may come back and revisit that. We can use a couple of nice... Right, so our choices are we can use a victory mod block for a wash basin, which does look really, really well, but I am conscious of overusing it a bit. So what I'm going to try and do, maybe I can reuse that, but we can certainly... You know, we have the room. I'm thinking that maybe the bath tucked away in the corner there isn't ideal because we don't need it there. We can just have a bath, for example, here. Now, obviously, that's too wide. It's too close to the door there. We could have a bath here, for example. And you're back, Scout. Welcome back. Always important to say hello. And so, yeah, we'll have this here. I think that's a better place for it. Not entirely gone on the actual choice of column block, though. Yes, 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 indeed. Of course. So anyway, let's see what we can do here. So if we had the door frame lintel, we could do something along the lines of that as a kind of a bar. Oops, that's not meant to be go there. And that can go here, and this can go here. Does it? Yeah, I think it's actually better like that. Almost. I think that's okay as a bath. The lintel sort of hides the top of the column block, which again isn't ideal, but look, it's better than nothing. What we could do also is we can have let's put a little bit of decor into the room itself. Oh, we also need, very important, we can have a towel rack, which people will need obviously, and we'll try this here. This is going to be just for flowers, just to make the place a little more pleasant. And we'll go with some purple flowers and see if that works in that corner there. I think that's alright. Let me know what you think, folks. Again, I'd really appreciate some interaction here. And oh, we of course need light, because as I mentioned, we have an even room widthways but not an even room lengthways, so we're kind of scuppered there, so we need some light. So let's get that sorted. And you want light when you're over the bath in particular, I feel, so we're going to go with a stand. And because it's not we could go with a wooden stand, we'll go with a metal one in this case. And we'll just put a candelabra there, which isn't really visible, but there. That's alright, I think. We can have okay, let's get rid of some of this junk and clutter. And we will have our towel rack above here, I think, with a towel on it. No, we're gonna go one down with that. And possibly, let me see, I have an idea, and it's going to again utilize Victory Mod, because we could put just a potion bottle on top here, and I think that fits quite well. Age 1, no. Oh, okay, hold on, that's a good one. We've used that purple one. Oh, I like that. I think that looks quite well. And maybe a small desk or table or chair, perhaps a little stool. I think something for that corner there, but with a table would probably be best. And we're going to go colourful with the table in this case. We're going to max out in the colour in this particular bathroom. It has a mosaic wall halfway up, as you can see, just so it'll just, as I said, it was a little bit of extra decoration. And on the table we are going to add, I am not entirely sure what we'll add, but we'll figure that out. No, we'll worry about the table now in a second. Okay, bath table. Now, next thing, and also quite important, is a little wash basin. And as I mentioned, we could possibly use the Victory Mod wash basin, which is utterly fantastic, but I am conscious of the fact that I'm using it a lot. Like, I mean, in basically every other bathroom now, this is my wash basin, and I want to try and not get away from using it all the time, because I will continue to use it because it is ideal, but I need to just vary up my decoration a little bit. So in this case, I'm going to use a traditional CR block, and that is going to be this lad. No, this is going to be the standard cauldron, and we could use the standard cauldron here, or perhaps here. I think there. I have an idea for the other place, and then we can use a table at the other point there, and we're going to fill that with water. Okay, and then here, here we're going to have a mirror. Now there's two choices of mirror within CR. Because as I said, lads, let me know if you're who's on board. If you're familiar with CR, then you'll know that there are actually two mirrors. There's a decorative mirror, which is an entity, and then there's the block mirror, which is a. And I'm going to. Typically, I would use the block mirror, and I would have maybe a rail about it, and that just gives it a little border, which does work. Don't get me wrong, but in this case, I'm actually going to use the entity. The reason I usually, well, I use the block a lot is because, as I've mentioned in previous streams, I'm terrified about the idea. I have been a victim of my own self in occasion when I built the likes of Druss, which was my big plot on Darwin. I added so much detail and so many entities that basically it made it very difficult for me or anybody else to move around the plot comfortably, and in a lot of cases actually killed people's connections apparently. So I'm trying to get away from that, and just as I mentioned, just try and basically try and use blocks rather than entities where possible. So hence the mirror. Hold on. No, not that one, not that one, not that one. That one is alright. It's probably a little bit busy. That one I do like a lot. So again, FilthyCoin, thank you very, very much for your excellent mod. It's fantastic. Really does work. And along this wall, there's not much we can do. I have an idea for this wall, and it's going to be a kind of a close rail. So what we're going to use is a big ladder. Big lat. It would help if I could spell. Unfortunately, spelling was never my strong suit in school, which was weird because I was actually rather good at English. Right, so there we have it. That will be a tower. Now, we could, I suppose we could leave it to the, oh, hold on. No, we are going to, that is adequate, I think, but I have forgotten something, and maybe it's a little bit silly given that it's a private room, but we have the ability, so let's try a Baroque screen. I really like this, and this gives me an excuse to use it. If we move in one, no. What would it be like if I did it there? That's probably too much, but I really like that. The screen, that's very nice indeed. And if there are two people in the bathroom for whatever purpose, we won't get into that. I think that looks quite well, but perhaps on the other side, if I can manage it. No, I can't, unfortunately. There are a couple of screens. There's the lattice screen, the slatted screen, and then the Baroque screen. So I think the Baroque screen is probably, yeah, no, I don't like that. And that is good, but it's quite visible. So the people who live in this house are slightly more puritanical for whatever reason, and they've decided to go with the Baroque screen, and it looks gorgeous. So that also gives me room then to add my little towel rail or clothes rail, and I think that's quite okay. And finally, maybe a stool or something to just sit down on our, I don't know, multi-purpose stool, which will do. Let me see, where is my stool? Yep, that's the lad. I think that's okay. So they can go in here, they can wash themselves with all manner of soaps and potions. So our final touch for this room, I wonder. This actually, you know, this won't work because it's a slab there, so that's not going to work, unfortunately. May work there though. That's okay. Few suds. Someone was a bit messy in the bath. So finally, we have our table to decorate, and I am thinking about just putting a smaller, more classical CR vase there, if I can find it, which of course I can't because I'm blind. There we go, the amphora. Now, I think that is not a terrible bathroom. It hopefully is fairly obvious what it is. I think so. So let me know what you think, folks. There are 3 people tuning in. So again, thank you and welcome aboard. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope this is watching me fumble about in the bath is alright. If I'm just wondering what's below here. Okay, yeah, no, we don't have anything to put below. Or do we? Would we get away with if I had... Which room is this? This is the dining room. I'm just curious. If I put one there and one there, how obvious would that be? I don't think that's too obvious. I think that's relatively subtle. So, my logic here is, if we have a small slab there, which, as I said, is I feel quite subtle. Is there even something a little bit thinner? There's not really, no. No, so we have that there. Hopefully no one will notice. And then above, tree in. Where did we have our marble? Oh, marble. Metal. It is certainly not metal that we're looking for. It is marble that we are looking for. Marble block. So now we can fill the... no, we can't. What the hell? Disaster. Absolute disaster. So, where did that go wrong? That goes there. That goes there. So I would have thought that we should be able to fill a bath, which we can. That's slightly better. I think that's even... In case people really didn't understand what this was, now they have some inclination as to what the idea is. And now, because we have water, we can add a further detail and a little bit of steam coming up from the bath. Oops, that wasn't meant to happen. We shall try that again. And we're going to fill the bath again and have a little bit of steam come up here. And hopefully this won't be too difficult for me to manage without... No, of course it was too difficult for me. Learn thy lesson, Druss. Which is... for the love of all that's holy. How do I manage this now? Without destroying absolutely everything, we'll try put that there. And we shall put, hopefully... God almighty, this is a disaster. Okay. Get rid of that. Block it off, block it off. Oh, for the love of... Block that, block that. We're going to have to block this again and get rid of this steam. Thank you very much, Scout. I appreciate your laughter at my discomfort in absolutely destroying everything I have just spent the last couple of minutes building. Yeah, no, it's there's no two ways about it. This was an absolute... This was a... Oh, for the love of God. What the hell? This is impossible. What is going on with me today? Please work. Thank God. Please work. Thank God. Now, finally, we want to get the steam block. This shouldn't be that difficult. I do have, I swear to God, some experience in using CR. A slight amount, but for some reason it really isn't showing today. Now, there we go. I think that's enough. I think I have fumbled around for long enough, disastrously trying to build a bath that is probably overcomplicated, but I think that's okay. Shall we leave it there? Oh, thank you very much, Skill. Now, there we go. Now that's ideal. Finally, we can shut the door on that one and never return to that cursed room again until now. Okay, so I think that is alright. We've a mixture of some CR, some victory mod, and it's adequate. Now moving on to the more difficult one, which is the bedroom. And the reason I left the bedroom till last was because 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, that's it. Going to be 1, 2. Ah, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do them this way today and here. So the beams are going to go across because it's just more even that way. It will let me do an overhanging light, which will make life a little bit easier for me. So there we have it. The reason I left this till last was because I had a fireplace to design. Now it's going to be a smaller fireplace. It's not going to take up the room because it's a small bedroom. The fireplace isn't there for decoration, it's there for functionality and warmth. So, to begin, let's get the worst part over with. And as I said, it's not going to be entirely functional. It's going to be smaller. I don't know about where everyone else is from. My father grew up in a relatively big house by Irish standards, and in particular by the standards of the day. He would have been born in the 1950s, and his house had, I think, 4 bedrooms, and which these would be big old Victorian rooms. It was a Victorian house, and every bedroom, sorry, was it 4 bedrooms, maybe 5 bedrooms? Anyway, the house itself is a big old Victorian house, and it was in the countryside. And I absolutely loved visiting it as a child. It was my version of heaven. And it had, one of the things I used to be fascinated by, having grown up in a housing estate, was that every bedroom had, in fact, I think almost literally every room had a fireplace. And I absolutely just loved it as a kid, and I actually tried climbing up a few of them in the hopes of finding secret tunnels and stuff like that sort of thing. So I'd come back down to my grandmother with a blackened face and be given out to and that sort of thing. Though, to be fair to her, she never gave out to me that much because she was your stereotypical doting grandmother, and only passed away a couple of years ago at the ripe old age of 99. So there was longevity in her family. Her sister reached 102, so I'm really hoping that the genetics have been passed down to me. Now, let's try for a fireplace here, and it's going to be slightly... let's try that. The simple limestone architrave. No, that's more of a horizontal block. We need something vertical. Love the bath, nice detail. Sorry, thank you very much, Scout. I have not been paying attention to my... Oh, maybe this. I've not been paying attention to my actual chat, which is a horrific faux pas of me, and I'm sorry. Luckily, only Scout is chatting, so I suppose that's a small mercy in terms of I haven't missed too much. I do like that, but I don't like the fact that there's a horizontal. It would be better if this was a sort of a column block. Perhaps it's better if we have it as just a standard brick. It's okay to ignore you. Of course it is, Scout. Okay, I can't think of a smart answer to that, so... Scout, I know you're listening, so I can't think of a smart answer off the top of my head, so, you know, feck you. We're going to have to figure something out here. Let me see. Trevor, ooh, the redstone. I have been dying to try this out on a house, and I don't think I yet have. But it has lots of applications and lots of variants, as you can see. It has basically the full gamut of the variants. Scout, thank you very much. Yeah, this is a lovely block, and I really need to use it properly in a house build because it's gorgeous, and I have found a nice few pallets for it, so it's just a matter of actually having the gumption to go ahead and use it. Sandstone brick, I think that is my lad. Yes, that's the fella. And we're going to put that there, go all the way up, at least up to the next floor. Let's do a corner block here, Oh, except not that direction. Again, folks, I'd love to have you interact with me a bit. It does feel a little bit unusual when I'm nattering away to myself. We'll need to go up one further, and then we are going to... I think we're going to use one full block there. We can possibly get away with it. Yeah, no, we can. And then we can use just a slab there, because we're going to, as I mentioned, it's going to be... We can use a corner block here, perhaps. I know that Razor Dawn and a few others did suggest this for previous fireplaces. Something along these lines here. It does allow you a lot of options in terms of it's a little more subtle. Okay, except that I've gone out too far, clearly. This may work, may not. It's a bit wide. I actually, when I wanted this fireplace, I did envisage just a very small opening. So I did think about a full block here, and that's the God's honest truth. So what I wanted to do was have a fireplace there, something small that you can bear. Like, you know, as I said, it's going to be a functional fireplace. So, could be in there, but no, it's not going to be. It's going to be here. And we can put the fire itself in there, and we are going to just come up with something hopefully relatively easily. And we're down to 2, so I think Scout is left. I think that's probably my loss at the moment. Now, with that, we could possibly use... let's try this. I don't know how this works. No, they're just slightly too different. We'll continue the way we were. Now, how to make this look a bit more pretty? Oh, I have an idea. It may work, it may not. Now, if we give that a try here... Oh, that's alright. And then what we need to do here is we need to bring this out by 1 to hide the back. Now, we have an issue there in terms of we have a visual issue of the... Yeah, no, that sometimes happens. So it looks okay there, and then all of a sudden you're talking about a... that's a difficult one, because I do like the fact that thing, but just hold on, maybe we can figure this out. So that's there, and do we have a sandstone quarter block? I don't know if this will work. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't work there. Let me think. How about... I don't think that's going to work either. No, it definitely doesn't. You see, that looks well there, and then you move and it gets ruined. And no matter what we put there, it's going to have that effect, unfortunately. But there's not much I can do. It's just one of those things, unfortunately. Right, let's just put a fireplace in anyway. Again, I don't want to spend too much time agonizing over everything when I don't really need to. Let's turn that fireplace off. I like that. and just have little iron spikes as a rail, a guard, and we can again have a quarter block maybe, and it doesn't even need to be, it could be also that plinth. Let's just get rid of that, put that back, and the plinth is just a sandstone plinth. So I know that there's a column that, so we're going to try both. So this column here has a quarter, a vertical quarter, which is what I'm looking for, and this will hopefully border. I think that's all right. I think that works. So yeah, now outside the, okay, so it looks well, not so well, well, not so well. It's a sacrifice we're going to have to endure, folks, I'm afraid. I'm not going to waste any more time on the fireplace. It's about as best as I can do. It actually is relatively how I imagined it being in the first place. Okay, we're down to one person. I'd love to know who it is, so feel free to just chime in and let me know. Okay, so relatively even room. We're going to put the candelabra here, and we're going to, do we want to do a capital or do we want to do just a chain? That is the question. And if we do a candelabra, which we're going to do, it's a bedroom after all, so they deserve a bit of light. So that, which is there, or a chain, which is good, but does suffer from having the issue that you can see the gap in the beam. Then I am going to go with the capital. That's my choice, and that's decision has been made. And I, of course, let's unwaterlog that yoke. There we go. 2, 3, and there we go. So now, first bedroom, should I say? To make an adequate bedroom, we need a bed, and okay, so we can go with this one of two ways. I'm going to have the bed in the corner. We can have the bed facing here, or the bed facing here. As you walk in, if the bed is facing there, we can have our dresser here, which might look well. How many space do we have? We have space for it is what it is. Whereas if the bed is there, we could also have the dresser. No, we don't. We don't have the same amount of room there. So the bed is going to face this direction, and it's going to be slightly off center. That's deliberate. It's not that the room is uneven, which it is, but I would have put it off center anyway. So I like the idea of a 4-post bed. 4-post beds are relatively easy to achieve with Conquest, but in this case I'm going to use again the Victory Mod beds. They're custom made for this purpose, and they really do. They're just magnificent. They're beautiful. We've done a lot of green already in this particular upstairs, so we're going to go with red, I think. So what we need is let's go with the oak. I think oak double bed base. We have an oak double bed thing. Covers. So we just need to find the oak. Dark oak, oak double bed posts, and then we are looking for the oak double bed head. Okay, so oak, and red double bed covers. Okay, so we have all the necessary pieces. Here is how you put together. Now it can be a little bit pernickety sometimes, at least for myself. Maybe it's just that I haven't ever figured out quite how to use it. So okay, so there's your bed base, 1, 2, which is fantastic. Then you put in your head, which should be there, ideal. And then you put your, okay, that didn't work. As I said, I am just no. Why can't I do this? Let's try that again. There we go. Finally, somehow I managed to make it work. And we're going to put that there. Ah, that's for the light down below. Okay, so we have our double bed. So next thing we need to do is put on our post. No, we don't put our posts there. That's certainly not right. Put on our bed sheets. Okay, looking well so far. And then finally our... There we go. Now that is just beautiful. It only needs one finishing touch, and that's to change the color of the posts. So if we can find the way where I place that. How do I do this? White stucco has no properties. This. Facing north, age 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now, so what we have here now is a lovely double post bed. Again, it's just it suits it so well. It also gives us room for a small table to the side. We can put any manner of things really. What we're going to do is we're going to put a table, if I can find it. There we go. Small table. Little bit of decor, a little bit of clutter, which is certainly what you would expect to see. Some books. That looks okay. Over to the side here. That was on that side, so we should have room here for a chest. So let's find that chest. Now, chest or standard chest, which is to go with? I'm gonna go. Ah, there we go. So, which looks better, a Hain, Oder, or Doe? No, that definitely doesn't look well. I think that's the lad. I think that's the one we want to go with. Yes, that's ideal. And now we are going to need a wardrobe. It's a small bedroom. Let's not forget. So we are limited on space, but that is no excuse. We should be able to still. Oops. We should still be able to make a couple of things. So let's see what we can make work. So let's try there, and as I said, we're limited on space, but we do need. These are things that are needed to be done within the build itself. So we'll move this out slightly. There we go. That works for me. A fancy wardrobe. We may need to remove this block for a second. The reason we may need to move this block is because we do need doors on the wardrobe. So the best door would be, we're going to try, an oak door may work, it may not. The elegant oak door, we're already, you see, right, let's just try the oak door for the moment. I'm not entirely sure it will, it will be adequate. It may be, but that is entirely, that works, I think. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. So what I want to do is put it up. For the love of, what the hell have I just done? I know what I've just done, and that was not meant to happen. I'm after going through. That's the flaw that is on. As I mentioned yesterday, there's a flaw. There seems to be a bug with the ornate bookshelves, that they disappear. That may need to come forward even one more. And then what we will need is we will need to either top that off, so we can either have it like so, which, let's be realistic, that just looks odd. I don't think that looks well at all. So what we will need to do is put in a top, and I honestly, yeah, no, we can't. We don't have room here for the same sort of thing as we did here on that. So what we will need to do is just do a single column. And I'm loath to do this, but I really can't think of anything else. Like we could put the top on it here like so, but we don't have room to come out. So again, that looks terrible. It looks like it's stepped inwards all the time, which is definitely not ideal. Really, the only thing I can think of is doing it like that. Even that doesn't look great. We may need to change our 1, 2, 3. I think we may need to change our beam. Even our beams are still going to be affected by it. Yeah, no, there's nothing good. There's no really good solution to that, unfortunately. We'll just try a different column block and see if that works, but I don't think it will. I think it's not going to make too much difference one way or another, unfortunately. That was the plinth, and that's a bit the most. The cornice, I think, is the one with that juts out most, and it does. And I think that's the one we're going to go with. You know, that's the best we can do at the moment, unfortunately. So let's carry on as we meet to continue. Again, whoever's watching, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you're okay and there's not too much, or it's perhaps Susie our scout just logged in and I'm talking to myself, in which case more fool Druss. But we will continue anyway. In any case, I had only intended to do this stream for as long as I was doing these 2 rooms. I have a million other things to do, unfortunately, today. So let's just carry on. So small desk. How do we manage this? It is a small area. So let's try this, and we can have a towel rail. Have a towel rail as a, you know, let me see. So if we have a mirror here, the mirror is going to be here. We're going to just put that there for the moment. We're going to have a table come out like so. The rail, that is not too bad. Now the question is, do we want a rail around this? Excuse me, forgive that frog in my throat. Let me see, we should have a rail here. That doesn't look great. What we could do is we could do a lintel block or something along the edge here, which would give it a trim, which we will do, and that will also let us put some decor in the actual thing. So the question is, can we manage can we manage this? So if I put a rail, I'm not entirely sure this is going to look well, so this possibly will end up scrapped as an idea. And then what we're going to do is an ornate. We're going to put that there, and we're going to put this here. Now this will limit the use of space in the window, but that's the way it is. And then we are going to, is there a quarter block? Oh, well, of course there's not a quarter block for that. There could well be a vertical quarter for this. Scout, welcome back. Scout, that was actually fairly quick. I'm impressed. No, does that look well? What we could do is we can try and that didn't want that. We can try and put a different rail block perhaps in there. Glad you're watching again, Scout. And obviously it wasn't yourself that was disappearing. We're just going up on the hour long now at the moment. So we're still ploughing ahead. Oh, that's a tough one. I think that's going to have to be the one we choose. We're going to choose the ornate rail, given that it's a kind of a nice dresser sort of thing. Can have decoration there. Let's just add a little bit of clutter. Something like this. You're just thinking of. I've built what I think is a more suitable crib for dresser. Scout, go ahead and change it then. It is absolutely. It does that. I fully implicitly trust you in regards that you're far better at decoration than I am. Therefore, we need a chair here. We can have a bench here or a stool. I'm going to go with a stool, I think. The stool, perhaps, no, the stool doesn't work. It's a bench. A bench is going to be what we use there. And finally, we're going to put a little bit of clutter on the desk. And to do that, we're going to use Victory Mod again. Because there are just such lovely kind of things you have in Victory Mod. Like you have some nice decorations that, like for example, the apothecary rack. That's like that's beautiful. That's perfect for here. And perhaps just some you know, sometimes, as I said, sometimes less is more. A little few papers maybe, just as a kind of an indication of, you know, a face cloths or something along those lines. Maybe use that too much though. We did use that in the nursery. Scout, I'm not coming in to check up on you. I'm just, yeah, we used that in the nursery. So I don't want to use it again. The apothecary rack, and that will do, I think. The question is, how much space do we have here? I don't know. Hold on. Let's have a look. Oh, oh my god, that's amazing. They're both beautiful, but that really is fantastic. Thank you, Scout. That's gorgeous. That's a beautiful crib, and as you mentioned, it's a little bit less. It's a little bit more in keeping with the time frame that we have, I think. Exactly, absolutely, and I completely agree. It does. It's far more appropriate in that regard. Though the other one is gorgeous, it's probably a little bit more Victorian, maybe. And it does. Don't get me wrong, it is gorgeous. I think both worked. Okay, so we're nearly finished this bedroom. One last thing I would like to try, and I'm not entirely sure it will work, but we'll see. I don't know how much space we have for a carpet here. You see, we can do it there, but that looks a bit odd because we don't have a we don't have it there. A little bit of a rug there, maybe. I'm not entirely happy with it because it doesn't come out to the full 6 because we have our bed post, the base of our bed there, so we can't put it in there. So, you know, I'm going to leave it. It's not a bad little feature, and that completes the first bedroom of the house. So, yeah, it's not entirely terrible, I suppose. We have all the we've touched all the bases that we need to touch upon. We have a little dresser, we have a bed, we have a wardrobe, and a little chest and that sort of thing. So yeah, no, I think that's all right. So I think that will do us for the moment. I'm tempted to continue, but it is 10:30. It's past 10:30 now at this point. And whilst I know this was a relatively short stream, we did manage to finish this floor. So we have now 3 floors completed, which is, well, it's something, you know. This next floor, we have bigger bedrooms to complete. So far bigger bedrooms to complete. These are the monstrous, these are the master bedrooms essentially. So we will have to figure that out, and then we will be on to our final floor, which is the big study / library, and a small storage area, I think. Yeah, a small storage room with space for a visual attic. There won't be any space to really move in here, but I will add a little bit of clutter to it, just to indicate that it's in use and that sort of thing. So that will, as I said, you'll just be able to probably navigate down a small amount, but essentially this attic will be, we're going to use worn white plaster here. There, that's the lad. That's the stuff we're going to use, and essentially it's just going to indicate that this is a functional attic, that they've used every last bit of space. But as I said, you will not be able to move within this because just owing to the amount of space we have. So yeah, so we're doing relatively okay, I think. So I suppose the next stream, I'm not entirely sure when it will be. Hopefully tomorrow, because as I said, I would like to complete this house whilst streaming, and I'm limiting myself in regards building by not being able to plow ahead and do more whilst I do that. So, but I'll commit to that, and then afterwards I may stop streaming quite as much while I continue to build. It will just give me a bit more time to jump on and off and not be streaming. The other option is just stream all the time, and people may view as they may. I might be quiet while I'm doing it because, you know, I do have a household with a family, and I'm sure they don't want to be listening to my voice drawing on from my study. So we shall see. Matters yet to be decided, I suppose. But yeah, no, I think we are coming along nicely. Scout is still ploughing along, doing some fantastic work on her patch of land, her piece of turf, and again, just lovely details like the windows being opened here. Really, Scout does excel at so much like that. So yeah, no, look at that. That's just, again, lovely little details of life. And this struck me yesterday. This is just magnificent. It's a brazier with a cauldron atop of it. So unfortunate homeless person is brewing up a meal, so putting on a stew. Magnificent, altogether fantastic. So Scout, thank you very much for your help. Folks, I shall see you later. Thank you again for joining me. Until next time, stay frosty and goodbye.